Okay, good morning this morning. Today I do have something interesting to talk about. We had a pig die during childbirth a couple nights ago. So, really, this was a huge pig. I mean, she probably weighed 400 pounds, and moving her was very difficult. Getting her out of the pen, getting her away from where she needed to be. She wasn't anywhere. I mean, never had to move one like that. Usually, if they're going to processing, we can get them to an area where we can get them up on a trailer and take them off to do that. Anytime we've ever had a death, it's been a small one, a youth that's had an issue. We've never had a big adult, actually, die like that. We've never had to process here. So that really, I felt like I didn't know what to do with her meat or anything. We didn't have time. It was in the middle of a rainstorm and everything else, and uh, we got rid of the body, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to. So, YouTube analytics tells me that 86% of you guys are not subscribed. Let's change that. Hit the button. Process here because I don't have the equipment for it to be the way it needed to be. And I really thought about that. And I said, you know what? The cost of taking her, because really she was older than she needed to be, the cost to take her to process would have been, it wouldn't have been worth the money to pay to have her processed as to what we would end up being able to sell her for because the meat itself, already would have been a little tough. She's a little bit older. She's a little too big, things like that. Would have been a lot of fat, content. You pay by the pound. So she would have been costly to have processed into an inferior product. And that made me start thinking, there's going to be times where we have these things happen. And do we really want to? I mean, she was 2 years old, so for a 2 year old pig, we've been feeding her for a long time. And to not get anything back out of her whatsoever. I mean, the baby's the entire litter. I mean, it was during birth. We got up the next day, and everything in her was dead too. I mean, all of them. There was nothing there and viable. So we started thinking, well, what could we do to not just have this waste and to be able to, do something productive with this? And originally, I was thinking, we need to do some sort of like a home processing or something that we could do and use for other animals. I mean, it's pork. You could use it for other animals. I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, what would we feed? We don't really have anything that we would feed. I mean, maybe a little bit of, organs or something we could do for the chickens or whatever. But really, what are we going to do with a 400-pound animal? And I just wasn't really sure. And the more I thought about it, I came up with an idea. If we were able to process, just a raw, rough process, right? Or if we could even just take them to be processed and just take the whole thing as a ground, instead of having to do the cut list and all the stuff and making the expenses that we do. If we were able to just take every part and do a grind, just a rough grind into like a sausage log type thing. I would like to thinly slice. That way it's a good mix all the way around. It's not like you've got big fatty portions and you've got big meaty portions. It's a grind, It's an even blended mix. And then take and do the fine slices and dry them, and they'll be kind of like dehydrated jerky, basically slices. It should be kind of like pepperoni slices that are dehydrated. And I would like to market them as a pet food product or a pet treat product. So then what you end up doing, and I've been doing a little bit of market research on this, like what could be made. Really, man, 3.5 to. Hey, are you a business owner that's stuck? Are you at that phase in your company where you're just not sure exactly what to do next? Like, where's the next step? What's the next piece of technology? What do I need to implement into our company or into our strategy for growth and scalability? Hit the link below. Let's have a business growth strategy consultation. Let's have a talk about that and see if we can't do something to maximize what you're doing already. 5, 6, 7 ounces, you're paying $5, $6, $7. If you do the whole raw dog food thing, now nobody really wants to feed raw pork. That's the thing. You don't want to do that. That's the issue. But even at that, you're looking at anywhere from $7 to $15 a pound, right, for a raw chub of meat. So for me, I'm thinking the best thing to do would be go in the treat bags, right? And you do different sizes of treat bags, but that would actually, you could make one 400-pound pig really turn into some actual profit, and you don't have to process many to get going. You don't have to process many to keep going either, as long as you can keep a small supply at a decent rate. And they don't have to be the prime cut and the certain age range either. If they are an older one, or even if it's a male, you don't have to worry about boar taint. You don't have to worry about any of those kind of things when it comes to creating a dog food product, right? At all. At all. That's not an issue. It's about flavor. It's not about, health or sanitation or anything like that. It's just more about the flavor of the meat, and humans don't really care for it. Dogs really, they don't care. They don't care if it's a boy or a girl. It doesn't make any difference. So that is something that we could actually do, is a line of pet products. And I believe that created that way, they'd be much like bacon strips. And they're going to be like, bacon! Right? You guys remember that. And we all feed our animals bacon. This is an actual pork product, a dried, dehydrated pork product, but it'll be sold as a treat instead of a meal, right? So, not so bad, and everybody likes that. We buy them pig ears and hooves, right? Might as well, do a little bit of a ground round too, or whatever, dehydrated round. All right, that's what I got for you. I just wanted you to know that there's some plans in the works, and I'm doing the research right now to find out what regulations we need to deal with to make it happen. So stay tuned for an update. Hey, if you are a business owner, an investor, or a leader in your industry, and you would like to have your story told, if you would like to share your story with our audience, be a guest on our video podcast. There's a link down below. I'd love to have a conversation with you. The network of Networth Video Podcast is a place where we have high-level conversations with high-level individuals, and I'd like for you to be one of those individuals. Hit the link below.